on the
Look at these motherfuckers out here.
representatives of democracy, an assault on the public.
Look at her, y'all.
An assault on the rule of law, and an assault on our sacred American.
If there would have been some black people out there, they would have been shot
I
at.
did note that this is a small group of people and does not
A
represent
small group of people. Look at all them folks out there.
This afternoon, we've seen Governor.
I seen one picture they had I think they was Secret Service people. They was I think they put, I don't know if it was like, I don't know what it was. They put it up close to the door because they were trying to get in the door, and they had their guns pointed at the door and stuff.
This doesn't happen here. The next president isn't supposed to tell the country to clean up the violence in the streets and to condemn it.
Man, they ain't listening to that crusty old coon bastard. Look at them all up on the thing and everything. If some black people would have been out there protesting, they would have sent the whole SWAT team out there. Would have had fire hoses and everything. Just look at them, just standing all over the thing. I came down here. I was on my homeboy podcast. He was talking about it. He said they rushed the door. Then the police were running back. I said, dang, I wish I could have seen it. Then they say some folks got into the Capitol building and some dude was in some area just sitting down with the American flag. Then he said some dude was in a Viking suit or something. I said, these folks out here crazy.
Right there is, I believe, the doorway on the west front of the Capitol that you see the president and dignitaries come out of.
I think that's right.
They're gonna got fire trucks out there and everything.
It's a beautiful door, and with
they would have had fire hoses on black people and everything out there. They say they shot. They said they were shooting or something.
So you from outside or from there?
I think inside the building they were saying.
Live picture right here of people rappelling up the sides of the Capitol, which is sort of unnecessary because there's steps everywhere.
Look at them. Look at them. The police ain't even doing that. They just sitting there. Look at them, got their flags out and everything. Look at them, that's the door right there.
There's also at this hour a heavy law enforcement presence that is arriving.
See, protesters, they ain't calling them, you see what they saying, protesters. If I did something like that, they would have been calling me a terrorist and stuff. Everybody, he's un-American. He's not grateful for nothing.
The White House and
just like that kid in Wisconsin that shot all them people. Kid was 17 years old. They put a GoFundMe account in his name. Now he had hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they calling him a hero for killing people and stuff.
Where is he?
Well, my colleague Lee Jiang and I are now being told that we should expect some sort of video message from the president.
All right.
Soon. A little while back, we were actually walking through the West Wing. We could see in the Rose Garden they had set up a camera there, which is often a signal that the president is going to record some sort of message. But to the point that you guys have been making, the president could have, in the course of the last hour and a half, 2 hours, simply walked down a very short hallway to the briefing room where there are already cameras and
Trump don't care about that shit, man.
Take questions, but he has decided not to do that.
Trump just sitting back with his hands crossed like, yeah, I did it. I might be going out, but I'm going out with a bang.
When you walk through there, the few aides that are there,
look at the White House.
In their offices, they are watching this all play out on television. We're told the president has been meeting with his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, in the Oval Office and watching this on TV as well in the small office.
Folks out here starving. Folks out here don't got no money. Folks out here trying to make it day by day. You got people like this just messing shit up for everybody. Telling you, if some black folks did this shit, they would have been shooting us and stuff. Would have had batons. Would have been running people over, kids and stuff. Joe Biden was talking about shit, so ain't no reason to pay attention to him. I'm surprised they ain't shooting the news people.
Relevant quote that's just been told to me through my earpiece is, "You have to go home now."
No folks ain't going nowhere. Talking about they gotta go home.
And a flagrant act of insurrection.
Look at all that.
Go home now. There'll be more as it plays out, and
no folks gonna be out there for hours.
Turn it around as rapidly as possible, but it is on the president's Twitter feed. Just posted less than 2 minutes ago.
and our control rooms, as well as others, are working to turn that around
Right.
to show to our audiences now the president has come out from his Twitter feed and appeared.
Look at them, they chin and everything. Look at them.
To make these comments at this hour.
Question is, who's going to tell these protesters? They're not looking at their phones necessarily. They're not.
They're in the moment.
You know, they're in the moment. And cell signals up there.
They don't care.
Anyway, when there's that many people, so it's not like any of them are going to be able to see it.
It's been a concerted pleading effort with the President of the United States to do
Look at these folks.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Children, his grown adult children were tweeting about this.
I was just telling them, why, yeah, if there was some black people, they would have been had fire hoses, dogs.
Aides of his, Brad Parsons.
You wouldn't be seeing me at work, Jonathan. I would have been like, I ain't coming to work, Jonathan.
His former chief of staff.
See, this why I stay at
All
home.
of it designed to catch his eye.
Cause stuff like that, they said some folks got in the building. Yeah, and some dude was in there with a Viking suit on. Then he said some dude was out there dressed like the Flash.
As social media is an ongoing and continuous conversation, the first retweet of the president's video, someone reminds him of a
Yeah, I know. That's why I stay prepared for stuff like this.
DC on January 6th.
All right.
Be there. We'll be wild. Reminding him of his very own fingerprints on what we are seeing playing out in the United States Capitol.
I don't follow the, to be honest. I
Hope no
really don't
niggas ain't out there, cause y'all gonna be the first to get arrested.
Even as a journalist, but that phrase, "be wild," had
I'm a
stuck
Trump
out to
supporter
me.
too. Nah, nigga, you ain't no Trump supporter. You're under arrest. Get in the car, boy.
Because it seemed to be sort of that coded type of message that sometimes the president
Indulges.
engages in. Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all know what Donald Trump be doing, so y'all should already be used to it.
Again, I spoke.
Y'all been used to it for the past 4 years, so I don't know why y'all ain't used to it
The
now.
President of the United States looks like.
Do we have the video?
And let's listen in now.
Yeah, what a damn video is. I want to hear what this motherfucker got to say.
I know your pain. I know your
But this motherfucker
We
do.
had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election. And
You
everyone
so
knows
stolen.
it,
You lost,
especially
motherfucker.
the
You lost.
other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time.
Look at his face. It look like his face just been spray tanned. Like
Such
you,
a
like a
thing
can of
happened
spray, like
when they
some
could take it away
light bright
from all of
orange
us.
spray.
From me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election. But we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel.
No, you don't.
But go home and go home in peace.
Once again, the president making unsubstantiated claims of a fraudulent election that even his outgoing attorney.
Motherfucker, you lost fair and square. Let me stop. No telling what the hell happened in the election. Joe Biden might have caught the Russians. Kamala Harris might have sucked Vladimir Putin off. No telling what happened.
You know, this really speaks to how detached.
Look at them. Look at them. They got ropes and everything. Look.
The president gets to travel by private plane, and for 4 years
Y'all seen that?
to travel by helicopter. You know, I had people tell me, all these people have traveled in on commercial air flights.
Done traveled all the way to DC just to get arrested and get beat up and stuff. Just to go home, wasting all your money for nothing.
A big event of the year.
Look at these folks.
Strapped for cash, economic time.
People already don't got no damn money and stuff. They doing shit like this. Can't even get $2,000, let alone $600.
It doesn't work that way.
Go back
It's
to the
not.
hotels.
They're going to stay here in the District of Columbia and continue the rage that
They're gonna keep doing this shit all over the country. It just ain't gonna be in DC.
And it's something that the president has stoked for months, and he continues to in this message by once again noting about a fraudulent election.
It is an arm's length relationship to the reality.
I lost the election. It was fraudulent. Joe Biden cheated. I never cheated a day in my life.
To nurse these grievances. Again, I repeat.
Where the hell that smoke coming from?
Hearings in court, state and federal court. Numerous hearings.
They're gonna get his ass when he get out. You're gonna have numerous charges on him.
Never ever was proffered. to make this outrageous and unsubstantiated claim. Yet he repeats it. So the grievance that he told them for weeks, you must come
Look at
to
these
Washington
motherfuckers.
to do something about. He now says, oh, go home.
Only flag I got is the American flag, but they're with the green, black, and red colors. That's the only flag I represent. If America really wanted to start helping people, you need to help people that y'all stole from.
It's better than nothing, but it's closer to nothing than it could have been.
We're watching now what
Don't
is
know
the
black folks ain't out there.
West
Y'all
Capitol
niggas is
and
stupid
the
as hell.
Protesters who seem immovable at this point.
Probably is out there because of they women.
And Jeff Pegues is there.
One of they diamond silk fat ass out there.
Department and has been covering these protests from day one. Jeff, what do you see from your vantage point?
Well, we just saw Nora tear gas.
Oh, that was tear
There
gas.
was this loud pop, and then we saw this plume of smoke right over my shoulder here.
Look
because
at him.
as
He
you
got the
noticed,
limited edition Donald Trump Make America Great Again jacket on. Y'all didn't see that
we have
jacket?
this curfew that will be in effect at 6 o'clock. We also have a larger law enforcement presence. Perhaps you can see that over my shoulder. And you hear the cheers from the crowd because now they seem to be reacting to what law enforcement is doing. So what is happening here is it seems to be building to some sort of, I don't know if confrontation is too strong a word, but some sort of face-off between police, law enforcement, and
Know them
this
Proud
crowd
Boys
that is
out there.
gathered
We gotta
here, because
represent
over the
Trump.
last several minutes,
Proud Boys.
we've seen some members of the crowd calling for more people to come to help them breathe.
Look at it. He got his mask on. I don't want nobody to recognize me. I might get fired.
They are all going home. Many of them are staying out here, still encouraging people.
Told my
to
homeboy
follow
LB he live close to the
and
DC area. He live in
so it'll be
Virginia.
interesting to see
I told her,
over
you
the
better not
next
take your ass down there. He said, I wasn't finna go down there. He said, but if I did, I was gonna knock some motherfuckers out.
But for some reason,
Look at all them
the
folks.
last 10 minutes or so, law enforcement felt the need to release more tear gas. We heard this pop and this plume of smoke.
And Jeff, let me get your take on that because you cover the law enforcement as a beat. Why is your sense that there's some sort of confrontation brewing?
Well, because at some point, they're going to have to enforce this law. They're going to have to enforce this curfew that the mayor of D.C. has called for. So at some point, they're going to have to clear these people out. And in fact, we've heard some people who've decided to leave because I overheard one couple saying, listen, I don't want to be caught up in this.
Shouldn't have had your ass out there in the first place. You knew what it was.
People back. And I would agree with that. At some point, law enforcement is going to have to enforce this curfew and enforce this law and try to calm these crowds down. In fact, over the last hour, we have seen law enforcement move into this area. We've heard the sirens. We've seen long lines of police cruisers coming in.
I wonder do they got them cops out there on them bikes.
We've seen police officers or law enforcement of some sort. It's hard to see because it's some distance away with gas masks on. And so they are gearing up for something here. You can just see it. You feel it in the air. But you also have the protesters here getting riled up a little bit. Still getting rather riled up. And as I said, calling for people to breathe.
See, that's why I stay at home. I don't be want to go nowhere unless I have to.
I think this is some sort of showdown.
I go to work and go home.
It's sort of odd to watch. They have it in their heads that this is their time to take back their house.
Look like they cheering or something. What the hell they saying?
Is that chant? Is that
Yeah, they.
chanting
What the
out
hell
there
they
behind
saying?
you?
Get closer, Jeff. We can't hear him, Jeff.
There is some chanting. Some of us
I want to hear this motherfucker talk. I want to hear what these people got to say.
And other things that, frankly, we can't broadcast. So there is some chanting as well.
Yeah, we've got a pool feed that's popping around some images that I just want to show people that you can see the Metro Police.
Look at them.
Yes.
This is fire department.
This looks like this was earlier.
Yeah, I missed it earlier. I was on
You can see that's
I was on my phone with my homeboys
police
on they
force
on
that
my
we
homeboy
have
LB channel looking at it.
guarding the entrance. That's the carriage.
Look at it. They got the cyberpunk SWAT team security gear on.
The United States
So we walk in.
Carriage
We walk
entrance.
in.
But that's where you would see the vice president enter from. Senators, it brings you right up very quickly, and you can see.
They got them protesting and shit. Look at it, they ain't doing that to him.
That's right.
Black dude do that, they would have been hitting his ass, pepper spraying him and everything. Look at him.
This is what our law enforcement is trained to do.
Look at him. Old ass.
They put their lives at risk to try and
Look at him just pointing at him. Getting close to him. Look at him. They ain't even doing that.
But if you're one of those wondering,
Look how close this man gets to this dude, man. Look.
one of the things that has to happen, as Jeff was saying, is they have to push all those people back. But then they're going to have to sweep every room the Capitol complex.
Yeah, they gonna have to sweep everything. You don't know if the folks that got in there planted bombs or what. They got them with the little riot shield.
Take into the night, into tomorrow potentially.
to just clear the area.
To just clear the area and secure it so that they can return.
Got it. It is 4:30 here in Washington. And
I know I got to get home
usually
and look
the
at this
sun
shit.
sets in just over an hour from now in wintertime, so it is about to get dark.
I know that boy eat that pussy having no orgasm. He a Trump supporter.
Many law enforcement
You know, I
officials,
like some of his videos, but I don't agree with that shit. You know, he be off some crazy bizarre shit on some of his videos and stuff. I know he probably made a video about the shit.
Number of law enforcement that are headed.
Can't wait till my homeboy Pharaoh Speaks do a video about it. Go check out his channel, Pharaoh Speaks. Look at him going through the window. Look.
A number of National Guard.
Look at them.
Believe are also on the way that have been.
Got their phones and everything. Look at it, they're recording them and everything.
The U.S. Justice Department, and we're seeing pictures.
See, they would have been shot us. See, those black folks can get away with no shit like that.
With oxygen.
Look at these
law
folks.
enforcement and others who are being transported.
Look at them climb through the window.
The U.S. Capitol who have been injured.
They say somebody got in the building. They were just sitting down. They were just sitting down in the chair, just sitting down and stuff.
A day of really very perfunctory kind of.
Yeah, they did had they did threw some tear gas or something.
A joint session of the House and Senate to open the envelopes certified by each state, signed by the governor of each state, and in this case, the representative from the District of Columbia, providing for Congress and its inspection and its acceptance the electoral vote.
They said earlier they said shots were fired or something. They were shooting
There has been some
inside of the building. So look at them.
I don't want to suggest there haven't ever been objections. What is important about those previous objections, 2001, 2005, 2017, the defeated presidential candidate in those cases did not endorse efforts to contest those and did not seek allies in the House and Senate to bring this to a full
Look at them. They had ropes and everything.
crisis, as this president has and as many Republicans have.
They were climbing on top of each other to get into the building.
The process was to play out.
They trying to check them for bombs or something now.
Arizona. The debate had just begun shortly after 2 p.m. Eastern.
But they said they had some. They said some lady got shot. And some dude was dressed in a Viking uniform or something, Viking suit or something. Look at him, still up there.
Challenging the electoral votes from Arizona. The Senate chamber was evacuated, as was the House.
Yeah, they were going through their stuff.
Protesters
They had some folks in there. Then they said, when they got in there, the police were running.
in such a way
I said, that don't make no sense. Look at them taking lamps. They still in everything.
to rapidly remove
Look at them just going. Look at them.
the senators and eventually members of the House. That's what was supposed to go on. That's what did happen, and it is now in abeyance because of these
Talking about some
occupiers
6
of
o'clock
the
curfew.
United States Capitol.
And as you were just noting, this window that is being.
Look at them, had ropes and everything.
Yes, there were protesters there crawling into the Capitol. Here we go, right
The
there.
windows that overlook the west front of the Capitol, high up like that, and have a balcony, are usually leadership offices. Am I correct?
If we could,
These motherfuckers.
we'd have to have a wider view of this shot to know exactly which window that is. But the fact that they're able to do this at all just shows
Oh,
you.
tell them folks might have their kids out. Them folks might have their kids out there and everything. They just out there with no mask
And
on,
that there's still
just
danger
doing unnecessary stuff.
inside, and that this is not.
Then look at them, all the signs.
No. This is a wanton act of vandalism, and you can see that they are sort of exalting in this desecration of the Capitol.
It would have been shot me. Even if I put my phone up, gun, it would have been shot me. I would have been dead. Look at at him. Who is this dude?
And possibly to Jeff Begase's point, they're
Look.
on the scene for the hardheads.
We will not back down. Oh my God! You see that dude, man?
Without pushing these people well off the stairs.
They pushing them. They ain't hitting them or nothing. They would have been hit. They would have been hitting me up all upside my head. Would have been tripping me up, tasing me.
And that image that we just showed you was from inside Pelosi's
Look at him.
Where people have reached the Speaker of the House's office.
Look at it, got the flag and everything.
I don't know which office.
Yeah, who office that is?
Specifically, whether it's hers or one of her aides, because it's a large complex of offices. But regardless, they got into that area, which should be rather secure.
The note that says
All that money they wasting, all that security they supposed to have. You got these folks getting into them damn buildings that easy.
Eva Nordstrom is our director of special events and directing our coverage today.
Look at it, they just pushing them. They ain't even trying to hit them in there.
And as we see protesters still throughout the district of
I might have to do a part 2 of this before I leave.
We now have a statement from Senator Hawley, who, along with Senator Ted Cruz, had been one of these senators who.
Oh, now these motherfuckers want to talk. Now they want to say something.
Counting of the electoral.
Senator Hawley was the very first to say he would endorse and share an objection with a member of the House to bring this debate to fruition.
Yes, he said, thank you.
I might gotta delete some of my recording videos and just upload different parts of this. Look at them, they pushing them.
The law must be prosecuted, and Congress must
ain't hitting them or nothing.
And finish.
Look at them trying to push them back.
Questions about whether the Senate will be returned to Congress right now.
Those numbers look larger to me, Nora and Ed, and they begin to look to me as if there is movement to
with the crowd,
to repel this crowd, to push it back and regain some of the territory, if only bit by bit. But those numbers appear more concentrated and a bit more forceful than they have.
Those are Washington, D.C. police, not Capitol Police. So the reinforcements.
Oh, Washington, D.C. police, not Capitol Police.
Police Department. Those are the guys that are trained to deal with these large crowds. They train for potential violence across the nation's capital, and they're doing it.
Look at these motherfuckers.
At the Capitol, as the unrest.
They'll let them do that, but with some black folks try to protest, we can't do that.
The Capitol.
They'll have all types of assault weapons, pistols, shotguns.
You can see
we can't do that. We can't do no shit like that. Look at them on top of the thing.
Revolutionaryism. There is almost a performance art, repellent though it is, quality to this. And let's just articulate.
I'm surprised they ain't on top of the damn building.
What they want. They want to disable the United States Congress from meeting and assembling and conducting its business until they get their way. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the clinical dictionary definition of mob rule. And that's what they're seeking, and that's what their actions represent. There is no other way to describe it.
Let's go now to Jeff Begase, who is outside of the Capitol, just the west front of the Capitol. And Jeff, is
I'm going to do a part 2, y'all. I'll be back in a minute.